Gatherings of drinking, flirting, merriment. What's not to love about these light-hearted, hedonistic depictions of the Dutch Golden Age Baroque master, Jan Steen? He paints the kinds of scenes we'd all love to just kick back a few shots and jump into. But his jovial scenes aren't always what they seem to be at first glance. Hey y'all, it's your good buddy Justin at Leopard Stripe here, and I'm coming to you today with a painting from the Dutch Baroque master Jan Steen, Worship of the Golden Calf. And while the name spells it out for you, Steen's image does anything but. In fact, it does what it can to seduce you a bit, making you something of a guilty participant in the process. When we think of Dutch Baroque, oftentimes that other Dutch Golden Age painter comes to mind with his dim backgrounds and serious faces. But this guy, Jan Steen, was the complete opposite. Steen was born into a family of brewers, so being around gatherings of revelers is what he had known from an early age. This shows in his paintings, often depicting jovial scenes of people enjoying themselves, having a good time, bringing the viewer in with him. It's not uncommon for him to place himself in the scenes. And while Rembrandt's paintings were brooding with wispy strokes, Steen's are playful, but with a tighter painting style. Now, if you're not aware, the story can be found in the book of Exodus, chapter 32. God has just led Moses along with the freed Israelites out of Egypt and into the wilderness, the desert of the Sinai Peninsula. Moses has gone up to the top of the mountain and had been up there for quite a while. While he was up there, the people decide to do what any bored group of people normally do. They make a god. And so Moses' brother Aaron down there with them basically becomes the de facto priest of this new god in the form of a calf, a Baal-type deity that they make out of their melted jewelry, and they proceed to throw a rager. Steen doesn't beat you over the head with the story. He doesn't let you off that easy. He does it in typical Steen fashion. He makes you join in before you even realize what's going on. The first thing you notice when you look at this piece is the woman up front. She and the girl beside her are the only ones who aren't wearing earthy or completely muted colors. While we're in the 1670s, the shimmering blue and pink are a foreshadow of the coming sensibility and motif of the Rococo in the late Baroque period. But the woman in the immediate foreground is the center of focus. Her opulent satin garments, her pale skin, ample breasts spilling over, drink in her hand, and that look in her eyes. She's totally hammered. She is our point of contact to the party. But who's got her eye? Who's that happy as a pig in to seduce the fair lady with his slick triangle skills? None other but Steen himself. Being the artist, he knows the underlying story and the message, yet he places himself into the work, not as a pious saint, doing his best to make the camp see the error of their ways. Nope, he's right there in it with it. And with us. Our guard is let down. Steen is in there, but he lets us know that while he's got his flaws, he's ultimately on the side of good with his choice of instrument, the triangle. In a religious Christian context, this represents the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. While we smile at these two and their all too familiar, cringy pre-hookup gaze, he's hooked us. We're practically pouring ourselves a drink and dancing around ourselves. But we just can't stand there like dolts. We gotta mingle around a little bit. What better place to start than the next brightest person, the girl in pink to the right. She's got some flowers, so it's pretty and quaint, right? But hold up. The dude beside her, he's presenting her with a coin. She doesn't seem to be selling anything. All she has are her flowers. This sicko's trying to buy her flowers, deflower her. This is pretty uncomfortable, so let's head over to the other side. But now what? This is awkward because here's the only person in the whole scene looking back at us, acknowledging us. We are most certainly not just spectators. We're one of them now. But this boy isn't just glancing at us, he's really studying us. He and the woman above him are the only ones who do not have a carefree look about them, who don't appear to be participating in the activities. Like he's aware of who we are and holds a bird He may be the personification of the Holy Spirit. Above him, the woman reluctant to participate, perhaps the Virgin. Okay, so far, total buzzkills. Let's make our way back to the dancing for a bit. People having a good time, living it up, dancing around the golden calf. They decide to make their god. Over here we can see Aaron overseeing the celebration in priestly apparel. He's throwing a flame into what looks to be a pit between the dancers and those in the foreground sitting, possibly filled with burnt offerings. This is amazing work here as you move around. The calf and the mountain behind it, you'd swear the calf on the pedestal was a 3D object over top of it. But let's get back to our foreground flirts. Now we can just enjoy everything, have a good dumb time again. But what's this? We noticed something. Maybe it blended in too well in the first go-around. But this figure, he's black, and while Africans in the Netherlands during the Baroque period were a thing, see Rembrandt's painting for example, and there is a dark-skinned individual right here engaging with the boy in the tree, this individual here is something different. His garments, they're quite fancy, not in the same fashion as everyone else around him. There's also no attempt at adding any sort of contrast about him and his clothes, almost like Steen wants us to intentionally skip over him. He wears a crown and jewels and almost maniacal grin on his face. He's holding a tambourine called a timbrel in the Bible. Those who know the book of Ezekiel know Lucifer was given jewels and instruments of pipes and timbrel. And where's he looking and pointing at? If we follow his arm and eyes, he's actually looking beyond the celebration, beyond the calf, and up the mountain to where we can see a figure that appears to be holding something large in his hands. This is Satan, and he's pointing up to the top of the mountain where he knows God is with Moses. He's taunting him, saying, "Look what your chosen people are doing." Many of Steen's jovial scenes have this moral undertone that are not surface level, like hiding your dog's medicine in a hot dog or cheese. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, but being that he would frequent the drinking scene himself, he understood that he was very much a part of the scenes he portrayed, but the morals he slid in his scenes were an important frame of life. They're kind of like the sitcoms in the 1980s and 90s where there would be funny situations, but there would always be that full house sort of dimming of the lights, soft music, and the heart-to-heart talk to deliver the message. Steen's message is a mirror of ourselves, himself included. And that's our look at Jan Steen's Baroque masterpiece, Worship of the Golden Calf. It's paintings like this why people hate going to the art museum with me. It's a large painting and the type of artwork that I really need to just sort of stand there, take in for several minutes. Honestly, there's so many works I'd like to just be able to bring a reclining chair, pour a drink, and just chill out and gaze into for an hour. The art museum, the zoo, the Orlando parks, that's about it. This particular painting can be found at the North Carolina Museum of Art in the permanent collection wing. And until next time, get some sun, touch some grass, and find the art in everything.